Okay, this is part 2. We have our simple line design. I've created a little bit of line variation, cleaned up some of my lines and added a couple of elements to my composition. Now I'm going to use line again to create patterns and textures to add interest. Now these are not realistic elements that I'm adding. They're more abstract patterns to add interest and to create a sense of depth or volume or difference in the different shapes of my composition. So you can see I'm going to select a pencil, zoom in, and start my designs. So you'll see that my lines are kind of following the contours of the shape, but not completely. And I'm going to move into some speed video so things will go quicker. You'll notice as I'm in this section that I try some things out, I don't like them, I erase them, and I try some other things. So again, it's a bit of testing and trying, and you can do this on your newsprint first, or if you're doing it digitally, of course you can erase things that don't work, and then I try other things. So you'll notice the backwards and forwards and erasing of several different approaches, and some things that stay. I'm now going in to add the color elements to it, and this would normally be done with watercolor. So because I'm doing this virtually, I'll be using digital watercolor. And I'm still experimenting with whether I should do a color overlay or whether I should have a transparent background and have the color come through. So that's what I'm playing with right here. You don't have that option when you're working on paper. And again, color scheme is something I should have worked out probably in my first composition on my newsprint. This would be, I would say, my first try at color scheme. I'd probably do 2 or 3 of these before I came into a final. I am looking at my reference photo of the color Gray Fox, so I have some idea of the original colors, but I'm not going to follow them at all. We're going to go into speed painting now for this too. So you'll see that I'm using a watercolor brush, so there is a lot of bleeding, I think a little bit more bleeding than I want. And in retrospect, I'm not thinking that I picked the best colors here, so I probably would try again with another set of colors if I had the time. But you'll notice again, trying a color, erasing it, trying another color. That's a nice thing about digital, that you can try a number of different colors and see what works. I'm trying to have the Gray Fox stand out. And yet I still think the intensity of the colors in the Gray Fox should be a little bit stronger for the Gray Fox to stand out a little bit more. I don't think it has the emphasis that I would like on it. Now you can see here the beauty of a digital device where you can actually take the image and try different versions to see if something else works.